Good morning and greetings from Bill Backen, the fun czar at Mays Valley Farm Market and Winery. We're 8 days after planting our corn maze. We're out in the field digging up seeds. This is what we do sometimes to see how things are going. And right here you can see one that is just emerging from the soil. If you go back in our earlier blog posts or the YouTube channel there for Mays Valley Winery, Market and Winery, Ohio Wine and More wine blog, farm blog really, I showed the seed in the soil there right as it got placed. Well, here we are 8 days later. Got a little moisture around it. The seed coat expands. It starts sending out roots, and it sends out its first shoot, and it comes up, and that is what pierces the ground or emerges from the soil. So I dug it down a little bit, and you can see the little root hairs here, and there's the seed right there in the center that I showed earlier. So you can see it coming up, and it's coming up out of the ground. We'll bury that guy back on. Hope he makes it. I'm trying to make sure every corn plant comes here. So we'll put him down, and I think that one will be okay. Let's look at one that's come up a little bit farther. There's one that's a little bit more long, maybe a day ahead, and there's another one with the beautiful dewdrops hanging off of it this morning. If you look down here, you can see the corn coming up in rows. What's happened since we planted? Well, we planted it 8 days ago. This is Saturday. That was the previous Friday. After that, we come along and spray a pre-emergence post-plant corn herbicide or weed killer or crop protection product. And what that does is that helps control the weeds in this field all season long, because nobody wants to come out to a corn maze and walk around and have a bunch of weeds all over them, and the weeds will eventually outcompete the corn. We won't get anything here. So we put that down to help control weeds. We've had 2 rain events since then, totaling about 1.5 inches, about perfect. The field conditions were really ideal when we planted this field. Moisture-wise, it went in good, especially for no-till, but it always helps to get a little shower afterwards to help seal up that soil slit. And what that does is it loosens, it takes the soil and it washes it right down in there and really tightens up the seed slit there. You don't want too much. We've had just about perfect conditions, which is nice to say, because over the years we've had a lot worse. Also, when the rain comes along, it activates the crop protection product or herbicide by moving it around the soil and providing it so it comes in contact with the little weed seeds and either prevents them from germinating, but it doesn't prevent the corn, or as they germinate, some of them are what are called root pruners, and they'll just take the roots off, and the little weed seeds pretty much starve. But I have to have corn. This field provides food for my family and income, and so the competition is on now. That's what this is all about. Everything out here is a competition. We also have a little problem starting. I noticed over here, I saw a couple of them that are already getting pruned off. Right from the get-go, you have problems out here. I think it's this one right here I saw. If you look, the top of the leaf is not pointed. And there's a couple others over here. I think we have a little bit of what's called flea beetle out here. They get out early. They're a little black, like a they're not exactly like a picnic beetle or what, but here's a good one right here. Right there, that one's been eaten off already. Barely out of the ground, and something's already trying to eat it. That's what we're faced with out here. You always have things coming along, and there's no beneficial pest or beneficial organism that comes along and stops this. And if you let it happen, the flea beetle will saw the whole field off. There's one there and one there. I think my father-in-law, Kay, has come along and done something about that, though. So once again, this is Bill Backen, the fun czar, out in our corn maze 8 days after planting, and we'll be following this along throughout the season. So if we have any educators out there wanting to use this for a field trip later in the fall, please do. Bill Backen, Mays Valley Farm Market and Winery, the fun czar, saying thank you for stopping by.